Welcome to Lockdown Lifelines. Here's 2 reasons why you might not be happy. Reason number 1, you're listening to bad advice.
Reason number 2, you're surrounded with the wrong people.
So what do we do about that?
Hey, it's great to be back on Lockdown Lifelines.
It's great to have you back, Sammy.
Super excited to be here.
How have you been?
I've been great, mate.
Good.
Getting out some fresh air, it's all good, isn't it?
Yeah, I tell you what though, my hand is frozen holding this stick.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel sorry for you, mate.
So, we're talking about happiness today.
The number one reason why you might not be happy is maybe because you're listening to the wrong advice.
Wrong advice. Bad advice is everywhere. So what kind of advice can we listen to these days that's actually really bad advice?
Mate, there's so much advice about how we can be happy, and one of the things that I've noticed people say is that if you want to be happy, make sure you've got the latest clothes, the latest trends. And I recently bought myself my first pair of Air Force, which I've wanted since I was in high school,
Nice.
right? And I recently bought a pair and I thought, oh, I'm finally going to be happy. It's going to go with all of my outfits. Andy, do you know how many times I've worn them?
Once?
Like 4 times. I'm already over it. And this is the thing, isn't it? You kind of think that if you hop on the trend, you hop on all the latest things, you're going to be happy. But, like, doesn't it happen so many times that there's another thing? So you're constantly chasing happiness, but you're not quite getting it. It's so frustrating.
It's the same with iPhones as well. They release the same one every single year, but just package it a bit differently and upgrade the tiniest little things.
Literally, you can't keep up with happiness.
So that's reason number 1, trends don't last. What's reason number 2, Sammy?
Reason number 2 is who are you surrounding yourself with? That can often either make you happy or make you the very opposite, unhappy. Well, when I was in high school, I just wanted to be popular because I watched That's So Raven and Lizzie McGuire my whole teenage
great shows.
life.
If you don't know what that is, check out Disney Plus, That's So Raven. Oh my gosh.
100%. The funny thing is that when you get so immersed with something like that and it becomes your number 1 aim, you're willing to do anything. And I just wanted to be popular, so I was willing to do anything. And on the outside, all of these popular girls and guys, they looked so happy. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do anything to get a bit of that happiness.
Nice.
So I started going out with them, drinking with them, partying with them. And in the moment, it felt like I was happy. But the next day, when all the alcohol was gone, when all the friends were gone, when my makeup was down my face and those boys didn't want to talk to me anymore, I didn't feel happy. I felt worse than I did to even start with. So number 1, don't listen to bad advice. And number 2, don't surround yourself with people that are gonna get you to do things that won't actually make you happy.
So why is it these things don't last? I mean, what is it about them? Why do they not completely fulfill us?
Because they're kind of like bungee jumping cords, aren't they? Have you ever seen somebody go bungee jumping?
Yes, I have. It's terrifying.
I know, right? So they jump off and it's like, yeah, this is amazing, you know, I'm drunk, I've got loads of people around me, I've got all the latest trends, I've got all the latest things, but then that bungee cord pulls you right back to where you started, right? You're back where you are, and sometimes, and especially for me, I was far worse than I ever had been to start with. These things don't last. That happiness doesn't last.
So where can we find a happiness that does last, Sammy? Tell us more about that.
Well, I'm glad you asked, Andrew.
It's like we planned this in advance.
I'm not gonna lie to you, the reason why we say this over and over again is because we genuinely believe it, because we've experienced it. The only place that I've ever been able to find true lasting happiness is in my relationship with God. He doesn't leave me. He doesn't go out of date or out of trend. He's always there, and he's always listening and with me in every single moment.
Yeah.
So if you want to be happy, if that's what you're looking for, don't listen to bad advice. Don't surround yourself with the wrong people. Instead, why don't you try this God that we're talking about? Why don't you try Jesus? I dare you to find your happiness in him.
And the reason he fulfills you is because he is the meaning of life. He's the author of life, which means he created it in the first place. Thank you so much for joining me, Sammy. We've conveniently stopped just around the corner from your house.
Yeah.
What was that? Thank you so much for joining us for Lockdown Lifelines. Remember, only Jesus will completely fulfill our needs and our desires. It's the only way to be truly happy is to know God and be in relationship with him. See you next time, Sammy.
Bye.